Okay, so here's me and Hank working on some place work in the morning with his breakfast. Kind of ignore all the children waking up grouchy in the morning. Everyone's getting ready for school. And I was going to turn the volume off, but we are really using the word place now, and he's doing so well with it. I wanted you to hear kind of my timing and when I'm using it and how I'm using it. So I'm still using it when I see him heading towards the place. But it's going really well. I'm standing a lot further away from the place this time, and I'm doing a lot more movement away. It's hard to see, but anytime he's on the place, I kind of do a little bit of rocking. I'll do some wide movement out. At one point, I go to the kitchen, and I come back, and he rocks it. So I'm just treating him many times while he's on place. When I do want to reset him or let him off, I make sure to use a release word. So I use all done, and then I'll use find it if I throw some treats out. But that's kind of it. So he did really great. I'm super proud of him.
All done. All done.
And it's another thing to note that this is really early in the morning, which is a little bit more difficult because he's so rowdy in the morning. So he went out to go potty, and then we went ahead and just started working on place work right away. So even with the energy he has, he's able to focus and kind of get through this hard work that we're doing. It's new to him, and he did really well. Oh, and right there he popped up. So one thing to mention when he does pop up, I just quietly wait for him to get back on his place, and then I will mark and treat him. If he's very distracted, I might reuse his verbal cue. But more often than not, if he's just coming up to meet me like this, I just sit and wait for him to decide to go back. And then once he's back, I treat him for being there.
She wants more cereal. You know that she wants. And you kept telling her, if you eat that, you can have more. She doesn't want cereal because she doesn't have enough. She does this. You start with that if you want. If you don't want to eat it, then don't eat it, but you're not getting more. All done. Find it. Alright. Place. Yes.
Okay, so here me and Hank are working on It's Your Choice game. Lydia started with him on this, and he does amazing. So I kind of move through this session kind of quickly and progress, but it's because I know he's done it before.
Yes.
But all I'm asking for him is eye contact. So I have a hard time putting a leash on him or taking his collar off, or
Yes.
any kind of touch to him gets him really excited and he turns it into play. So what I'm trying to get him to opt into is eye contact instead of that excitement play. So I started with treats, then an open hand, and now I'm moving towards his face with just my hands empty in kind of a grabbing position. And I expect eye contact. So I took his collar off because at some point, instead of having my hands open like this, I'll have a collar in it. And I do that in a few minutes. But he does great. I kind of threw him off his rhythm here when I took the collar off, and he's kind of confused what I'm doing with that. But he quickly catches back on, and we move forward.
Yes. 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 Good job. Little pussy. Hey, baby. I didn't put any food over here. Here, come on. Very good. Very good. Yes. Yes. Very good. Yes. 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 Good job. You're out of the camera. He's like, what are we doing? Here, Hanky. Ready? Can you sit? That's a down. I know. Can we sit? Ready? Come. Sit. Yes. Down. Okay. We'll take it. We'll take it. Yes. Yes. Good job. I know. Very good. Down. Very good. Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it? Wait. This is very close to your face now. No, I know. Yes. Yes. Good job. Yes. Good boy. Yes. It's under your, yep, you got it. You got it. Can we lay it back down? Thanks. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So this is kind of the ideal situation where I have the collar and he's just giving me perfect eye contact through the whole thing. I'm so proud of him, and he gets there so quick too. And he does just as well with the leash too, so I'll add a video for that next time.
Yes.
But he does the same behavior for a leash, and he does really, really well. Okay, so here we are on a walk with Hank. So I have very low expectations for him on our walks. I encourage him to sniff and be interested in things around him. I don't want him to be dragging me into the ground, but he very rarely does that for me anyway, so it's not really an issue. One of the issues that we are having on our walks is that I do bring treats with us, and I like to reward him for good behaviors and good choices that he's making. But as soon as I give him that first treat, he walks by me and stares at me the entire time. And then after about a minute or two of not giving him another treat, he will then jump up at me, bite at the leash, bite at my legs, really start pitching a fit. So what I've started to do is I still bring treats, but I bring a lot less. And I do treat him for some of his good behaviors, some of his good choices. But then I go a lot further in between treating, just to kind of build that tolerance of it's okay to get treats sometimes, and it's okay also not to. So what I do when he starts jumping and biting is I just freeze. I just freeze. If he wants to jump out and bite me and gnaw at the leash, I'm just going to stand still. Good behaviors gets us moving forward again. So he does really, this is towards the end of our walk, so he's doing really, really good. We don't see too much of the biting and jumping in this video, but I am proud of how well he walks here. So he did a good job, and those are his favorites. He found his flags on our walk. When we saw them the first time, he perked up so excited, and he like wiggled himself, and I was like, oh, your flags, you do love your flags. It was really cute. And he just naturally kind of walks in this really lovely position behind me. The only few times he's pulled is if a leaf blows by or a stick or something that he's really excited to see. But it doesn't take too much effort for me to keep him in this position.
Good job. Yep.
Which is great. But I do like when they sniff and explore at this age too, and I want to make sure I encourage that as well. And that's another reason that I don't treat him the entire time.
Yes.
It's because I want him to enjoy his walk and not always be working. I want him to be able to work and turn off, not just on walks, but anytime. He kind of has a hard time with working, and then when I turn it off, he has a hard time turning his working brain off too, and then he starts getting frustrated. So all we're doing is I'm still treating him, but I'm building that duration in between treats and that tolerance of it's okay not to be working and not to be receiving treats, and just kind of exist and be. And he does pretty good, and he even goes up ahead of me a little bit, which again, I know it kind of looks like I'm encouraging him to pull, but it's nice to see him sniff and do this kind of exploring. And then he checks back in with me, which is beautiful. I love to see these little check-ins. And I'll sometimes treat those too, because those are good behaviors to have. But he does great. And he's a really fun dog to take on a walk.
Leave it.